sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
A lovely warm welcome to tonight's edition of the Oxygen of Democracy, a program that comes every Monday on Prime Television. We are always glad to note that you always spare some time for us to come into your any of the spaces to discuss some national issues. Now, today's program, we try to look at the violence or physical confrontation between the UPND and PF, really what has gone wrong. The physical confrontation between the UPND and the PF, what has gone wrong. As you may be aware, nowadays, where there are elections or no elections, either in markets, on the streets, it's always issues of PF and UPND having to crash. PF, UPND having to exchange blows. What has gone wrong? What has broken down? These are the issues that we want to look at today, because really, where people are fighting, where people are pointing fingers at each other, it's not a good scene really to look at, especially with what transpired last week, which we'll be looking at in detail. All right. And of course, to help me discuss this issue is Mr. Anderson Banda, the UPND Lusaka District Vice Youth Chairperson. Good evening, sir.
I'm okay, Karen, and good evening, viewers.
All right. Yeah. I must make mention that we extended a hand to our colleagues in the PF, and we decided to target the youths. The reason is simple. Youths are the ones really at the center of violence. It's not the big guns, but mainly the youths are the ones who are involved in these confrontations. Either they are sponsored or willingly go into these battles. So we're targeting to talk to the youths themselves and see what has gone wrong. We extended an invitation to the UPND and the PF, but our colleagues from the PF, however, have not managed to make it. But we did extend an invitation to them. Most of them gave reasons that they'll not be able to come to the program. But however, we just have to go on with one side of the coin. All right, maybe let me go straight to you, Mr. Banda, and get your views on what has gone wrong in terms of relations between politicians. You and the PF, to be precise. Why are you always fighting amongst one another?
Thank you, Mr. Karan. To begin with, I believe that we only have one Zambia. Violence has no place in Zambia, because these political parties are like a club, the way you support Manchester, the way you support Chelsea. But it's sad that our colleague in PF, they are naturally violent. You know what I mean? That's why they always believe in violence. They believe ruling is violent. But to answer your question to why there have been a confrontation between UPND and the PF, the PF themselves, they've discovered that they've lost it because they promised a lot of promises to the people of Zambia, and now they've discovered that they haven't fulfilled even a single promise, and they've known that they've lost popularity. That is desperation, to force their popularity on people. When people said, no, you cheated us, where is job? Where are jobs? Where is employment, or where is money? So we find that they've now identified that UPND is growing like a bushfire. That's why they are always targeting us. They're trying to bring us down, but that will not work out. To me, Mr. Karan, that's what I think is the major reason why they are always at loggerhead with us. But the thing that we UPND, we are a peaceful party. We always believe in doing a civilized type of politics. That's why whenever we are under attack, we always like to report them to the police. Though the police intend to arrest us, that's what disappoints us most of the time. But all the same, I want to assure the Zambian people that we are the alternative party and we are the government in waiting. Let these people expose their weaknesses by the way they are doing these markets. Because
we'll be getting to the issue of the markets, especially what transpired at Buseko market.
Yes, sir.
We'll be getting to that. But what makes you think that the PF have lost popularity? What are you basing your gauge on?
Because it's an open secret, Mr. Karan, that PF has lost popularity.
I'm not aware that they've lost popularity.
Because if the party is popular, you look at the number of defectors they receive in a week or in a daily basis. UPND, without hiding you or without hiding anyone else, it's an open secret that UPND on daily basis we receive defectors from PF, from MMD, and from other parties. That is a litmus test to show that we are popular and we are gaining ground. I've never heard of late of somebody joining PF, and the PF, they've got their statistics, they've proved to themselves that they've lost ground. And that's why now they are resorting to desperate type of politics where they want to intimidate voters, they want to intimidate citizens. Citizens which they promise that they'll safeguard their lives, they'll safeguard their properties. But it's sad that these people, they've risen against the people who put them in power. So that's sad. So that's why we in UPND, we don't revenge, we don't fight them back. Or what we do, we always do the right thing by reporting them to the police, to the law enforcers. Though the law enforcers, they are so reluctant to take action. We've got a number of incidences which I can cite where UPND has taken records there. We've taken footages on PF on violent issues, but there's nothing that has been done.
Why is it so?
We believe that the law enforcers, they are working under extreme pressure. You know what I mean? They perform their duties based on the instruction from the appointing authority. That's what to me, that's the reason why they are very much reluctant to act when it is the issue concerning the cadres from the side of PF. But if it comes to our side, they act swiftly. You know what I mean? So the reason is that there's some big problems between the law enforcers.
In short, you are saying there's biasness in the way the law is being applied.
Yes, the law is not being applied fairly. The law enforcers are somehow partisan. That's why I find that these people, PF cadres, they even have that courage to do or to harm citizens because they know that they're untouchables. We've got examples which I'll give you.
Okay, now I think that brings us to the issue of what transpired at Buseko market, where one of your members was left to die.
Yes.
Though miraculously he survived after being screwed with screwdrivers. I was looking for that footage. I think we've not just seen the footage. I wanted to show the Zambian people what transpired at Buseko market.
Okay.
But I'm sure my colleagues are still looking for it. If we find it, we're going to show it to them.
Yes.
But what transpired at Buseko market, one of the major person who has come out is Ayeta from the PF.
Yes.
What went wrong during that fracas?
What went wrong during that fracas last week, Thursday, it is something which is very sad, Mr. Karan. And Zambia is believed to be a Christian nation, and I couldn't believe my eyes to see people hacking their own citizen, their own colleague, like they are killing an animal. It was so sad and barbaric. The thing is that these people targeted that man, Mr. Ruka, because they believed he's UPND. And illegally, they've taken over the operation of that cooperative market, where they sell brooms and timber. So they took control of that under the instruction of their civic leaders there.
Which civic leaders
we had proof that those guys were sent by their leaders like Mao Sampa, their councillors like Rim Cooper, and the other constituency officials. Those guys were working, acting out of maybe being instructed to do what they were doing. So they think that the things at Useko is the situation is terribly bad because people are scared to conduct their businesses. Some they've deserted the place. Some properties are were looted. Some monies were stolen from, especially from the victim, Mr. Ruka. Right now, the wife, she's surviving on by the help from the well-wishers, which is very sad. But as UPND youths, we tried to move in. We moved in, of course. We assisted in logistic-wise, and we reported the case to Matero Police. Even right now, as I speak to you, the docket is already processed, so that yet the ringleader can be locked up and the law to take its course. But what it is that up now, that man is still not yet arrested.
The police have said, we had an interview with the police.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying that we are looking for that footage.
Yes.
I don't know how we've misplaced it. Because we went to UTH and saw the victim
Yes.
himself, and we're at Useko Market and saw exactly what transpired.
Yes.
Now my question is, what led to the fracas? You just mentioned that they targeted Mr. Luka, but
Yes.
Luka is an individual.
Yes.
Was he campaigning? What was he trying to do for him to be attacked?
What it is that these people, these cadres from PF, they knew that Luka was a strong man who couldn't obey to their rules they put, because they wanted those people who were selling blobs and timber. They wanted those people to start contributing money directly to them instead of contributing monies to the cooperatives. So they, in short, they wanted to take control of that part where they sell brooms and timber. So, but there was a bit of resistance to the part of other people like Luka. He was not the only victim. There are so many people who were injured in the fracas. The medical reports are there. There are almost 6 members, and some of them were even locked up by the police. Instead of arresting those perpetrators of that fracas, the police instead arrested innocent youths, went in the compound and picked up innocent youths. That's what disappoints us most. Those cadres are known people. Even the police at Useko, they were there. They were seeing them performing those barbaric actions. The police were just busy watching at them. Even Ayeta and the other colleagues took Mr. Luka at Matero Police. He was not arrested. That's what prompted us as UPND youth leaders to move in and make sure that these people, the medical report are brought to the police, even the docket is opened. But to our disappointment, those guys are moving scot-free. What has gone wrong in our country? What has gone wrong in our country? When criminals are there, people have reported, records are there, witnesses are there, but people are not arrested. Does it mean that there are people who are more Zambian than others? The answer is no. So these are the reasons why there is confrontation, because Zambian people, they've said no to violence. They've said no to mediocre leadership. They've seen the only promising party which can bring sanity to this country is UPND, through the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
Now, are you saying that there is an infiltration of politics in buses and
of
markets?
course, that is plainly seen. Cadres, PF cadres are all over. They've taken charge of all bus stations, all markets countrywide, and they are untouchables. These things are provable. Records are there. Even their leaders know that these people, they've taken operation. Council operations has been paralyzed. It's now the cadres who are in charge of these markets and bus stations, which is not supposed to be the case. Because the councils are supposed to generate some revenues so that they can implement their duties, like cleaning of the markets, building of toilets. We are going towards rainy season. Where are the council going to get revenues to implement their daily duties if cadres can pocket their monies from the marketeers? So that is confusion altogether. That is lack of leadership. That is mediocre leadership. So to me, that is what we always say no to when we form government, because we always promote sanity.
I'm sure even the PF said the same when they were campaigning. They said they'll remove politics from the bus stations, and of course markets. But according to what you are saying, not me,
yes,
that there's still cadres within the markets coming from the PF.
Mr. Khan, without hiding you, PF have been a very big disappointment to Zambian people, because they've totally done away with what they were promising the people of Zambia. They are doing completely opposite. They promise that they will do away with politics in the markets, politics in the bus stations, but they are doing it even worse than what MMD used to do. Even violence. The violence is even within their ranks. Within themselves, they are killing each other. They are carrying more coffins within themselves. What are they showing to the Zambian people? Are they good leaders? Same as you, Mr. Karan, you are a family man. If you fail to control your own house, can you control the community? The answer is no. So if PF can fail to control themselves within the inter-party rankings, do you expect that they can control their own nation? The answer is no. So Zambian people have realized that these people, they are up no good to the Zambian people. And the only alternative government right now is UPND. Because we've got good leadership with new skills, which will propel this country to the higher heights. That's why I appeal to the youth of Zambia that PF and the youth of Zambia entered into what I can call a social contract. Okay? When they were campaigning, they said, you guys, or you youth of Zambia, you people of Zambia, vote for us. You have better lives. You have more money. You have more employment. So people were expectant that, oh, let's use this vote, at least to get something at the end of the day. But to our disappointment, to the disappointment of Zambian youth, to find that nothing of their promises is coming to fruition, to
fruition, of course.
Yes. So, to me, even PF, they've known that Zambian youth, they've seen that they were dribbled. And now, that's the celebration. They want to intimidate voters. Even in by-election, find that when they know that they are losing, they shoot guns in the air, they intimidate voters, they bribe voters. That is not what we voted for.
I was going to take you into Mangango.
Yes.
Where there was massive violence there towards the climax of the voting day.
Yes.
You know, the past 2 days or close to the voting day, we had a lot of issues coming through from there.
Yes.
And the blame was on the UPND. The UPND is the one funding violence there. You took cadres. You had to beat up a chief there. We had the UPND did all sorts of things. It resulted into Shaka Fuswa being locked up there for what they said violent behavior. He had to beat up 6 district commissioners.
Yes.
All things are being leveled on the UPND.
To me, I can say that is not true. Because to the part of UPND, we tried to report these violence activities which was perpetrated by PF themselves. But our officials ended up being arrested. Shaka Fuswa went to report this violent activity by PF. They were attacked. PF cadres stormed the camp where UPND was camping, using firearms, using all sorts of weapons. Officials went to report these issues to the police. They ended up being arrested. So that is not true. That's not what transpired to Mangango. It's them PF who went with thugs there.
At least you were in Mangango. I met you in Mangango, at least.
Yes.
Give us a clear picture of what transpired there.
What transpired is that these PF guys, PF officials, went to Mangango with hired thugs from Lusaka. And those people went there with the aim of intimidating voters. You know, village setup. Some areas, people don't like violence. They don't like fights. You know what I mean? They'll easily withdraw. It's better I stay home than being killed. That's what happened. They knew that if they gave us a fair playing ground, we are going to win them. We are going to beat them by far. Even their victory in Mangango, it's not a genuine win. That was a forceful win because they used all sort of corruption. They were distributing phones, they were distributing money, they were forming clubs. And those clubs, right now as I speak, they've crumbled. And these are the bases where these elections were being nullified in the high courts. But why are they repeating themselves? What has gone wrong? That is the same corruption which were being used by PF to petition these seats. Now, during election, they still do the same and waste more. So, who is fooling who? And I want to urge the PF government that they should not think that they are more wise than anyone else. To serve as minister, to serve as a political party in power, it's just a privilege. That means that they've got a monopoly to manipulate the minds of Zambians.
We've not gotten an official statement from the party, whether you consider defeat or not. I think as far as we are concerned, I'm concerned. I've not yet heard an official statement.
Me, as I speak here, I'm just a youth chairman, a district youth vice chairman. So I'm sure the official statement can come maybe to high-ranking officials. Yes,
Okay,
that
thank you.
one is not my part.
All right,
Yes.
but you believe that the playing field was not
The
conducive.
playing field was not very fair. Otherwise, if the playing field was fair, we are going to win the seat. Automatically, we are going to win the seat. And
Okay.
I want to congratulate each one of us who was there campaigning that we did a commendable job. We tried our best because the number of votes we got there, they are far much better than the ones we got in 2011. So to us, it's a plus. Moreover, that seat was not a UPND seat; it was a MMD seat. So we tried. We came second. Although we needed to win the seat, but because of corruption which was taking place there, it was difficult to win.
On the
because
part of which party?
PF took almost half of their cabinet camped there, district commissioners abusing the government vehicles. That is against the electoral code of conduct, but they went against that. So they forced the victory there. So it's difficult to even concede if it were me, an individual, because those guys, they use all sort of corruption, all sort of ways to intimidate and to give people funds. How? During elections, you don't do that. That's against electoral code of conduct. And this blame can partly go to the ECZ. We took proof to them that, see what is happening. People are giving voters money. People are giving voters funds. People are forming clubs. So those records are there. But ECZ was just watching. So I don't know. I think the best thing now is to make sure that ECZ becomes an independent body.
Those are some of the issues we are
Yes.
hearing from Zambezi West.
Yes.
That, voters are being given funds again.
Yes.
And if you've gotten wind of that, what are you still doing as a party? Because you come back and start crying foul here.
No.
If you reported such matters to the ECZ about what's going on, we've heard that the Minister of Home Affairs has been directed to start issuing NRCs to former Angolan refugees.
That's a very sad development, Mr. Karan. And our president, his able president, Mr. HH, the president of the UPND, is been quoted in one of the daily newspapers. He has reported publicly that this thing is happening. Foreigners are being issued with NRCs with the aim of voting during the coming by-elections on Thursday. So that is again bad, and that is again corruption. But I want to urge the voters in areas where there's by-election that these things which are given to them, get them, because they are being bought using taxpayers' money. You get them. If they give you funds, get those funds. They were bought using your money. If you are given money, get those are your monies. But when voting, don't vote for these people, because you only encourage them to do more harm to us, to do more harm to this country. They are up to no good, because they've proved that they've failed. To me, what is happening in Zambezi West is a sad development. Though these issues have been reported already to the law enforcers, to the ECZ themselves, these reports are there. So we are waiting. We are yet to see what ECZ will do. We are waiting and see what the SEC will do, because that's the only thing we can do, is to expose what they are doing. That's the only thing we can do for now. It's just to tell the ECZ, the Electoral Commission, this is what is happening. SEC, this is what is happening. So we are waiting to see what they will do. But
Well,
of course,
when your leader, Hakainde Hichilema, complained to say such things are taking place, some high-ranking officials within the PF have referred to him as a crybaby.
no, it's not a crybaby. You can't be a
You're
crybaby.
trying to cry even before the election takes place.
No. You cannot call somebody a crybaby when evidence is there. Is that being a crybaby? When somebody tells you this is happening, the proof is here, the footage is here, witnesses are here, can you be called a crybaby? That is not fair. HH can't be a crybaby. If he is a crybaby, he was not going to be as popular as he is now. HH is UPND and HH, we are popular in each and every corner of this country. And we've gained ground. Our popularity is growing like bushfire. That's why these people are jittery. Whenever HH talks, they always react, because they know that he's the incoming president of this country. Whether they like it or not, Zambian people, they've decided that now this is the chance for UPND and HH, because they've seen his leadership skills. They've seen that he's the messiah of this country. These people, they've failed. And in 2011, HH told the people of Zambia that you people, the only real change is in UPND. These people you are trying to vote for, they are recycled leaders. They've just been changing parties. Mr. Karan, I can give you an example. You can take a crocodile from Wangwa River, you put it in Zambezi River. That crocodile, Subre crocodile, it has just changed rivers. So these people, leaders, the leadership of PF, they've been there from 1964 up to date. They're still same people. They were holding senior positions. What is it that they didn't do when they were in senior positions in MMD? When they are the senior positions in UNIT? What new ideas have they come with? The answer is no. That's why they keep on repeating same mistakes they've been doing. Oh, along.
But even your party seems to be receiving people from the MMD. You know, we may count a number of them. Are they not recycled?
No, right now I'm talking of key leadership positions.
If I told you today that Honorable Mtalina Lumango, your national chairperson, was a very senior ranking official in the MMD, she was a government, she was Minister of Information.
Yeah, but
if I tell you that Dr. Canisius Banda was a very senior official in the MMD.
No, Dr. Canisius Banda, our able vice president, just joined politics recently, and I don't think if he...
But he was an MMD official, isn't
yeah,
he?
He was.
He held senior positions within the party.
But he joined MMD when it was about to come out of power, so we wouldn't link him to their failures. But I'm not saying MMD failed completely the way PF have failed. MMD tried at least a bit, compared to what PF is doing now. Right now, as I speak, Mr. Karami, I stay in the compound. I stay in Gade. There's problems there. People are not able even to buy a bag of milk because it's just too high. The price is just too high. You know what I mean? When PF were campaigning in 2011, the bag of milk was at 35,000 kwacha or 35 kwacha rebased. And they said this bag of milk is too expensive. When you vote for us, it will be less than that. But what has happened? It has doubled. So, surely, who can believe you again? What message are they going to tell the Zambian people when time for election comes in 2016? Because they fail to fulfill what they promised the people.
I'm sure part of the fulfillment is in infrastructure development. They can boast to say they've constructed roads everywhere. Is that not a plus for them? Recently, there was a bumper harvest in the last farming season. Is that not a plus on their side?
Mr. Karan, let me start with the bumper harvest. You know, when somebody says this bumper harvest, the result should be seen to the prices of milk. You know what I mean? If you have bumper harvest, at least the price of milk could have reduced. But now that the price of milk is increasing, to me, I don't think if it is a true bumper harvest, it is just made on paper. Because if at all this bumper harvest, we would have seen prices of milk reducing, at least life, the cost of living reducing. Those who are going to show us that there's bumper harvest in the country. But to me, up now, I haven't believed because the prices of milk is still the same and is in some areas is increasing. And what more when it's December, January? It means people buying 25 kg milk at 100 kwacha, which is very much unaffordable to a common man like people from Garden where I stay. Most of the people, they have resorted now to buying that Pamela. Even salads, Pamela, everything. Things have just gone too expensive. Even talk time they've increased. So what betterment have they brought to Zambians? So what message are they going to tell the Zambian people?
I've just told you that they've implemented in terms of, they've delivered in terms of the infrastructure development, roads, for example.
These road infrastructures, it's not the PF who started implementing this.
But at least they've managed to finish all the roads, isn't it?
In fact, this is a very interesting topic you've brought because it's sad that though they can be road infrastructure, but I can call them cosmetic road infrastructures. There's no way you build a road today, after 6 months the roads phase out. That is where now corruption takes place. These people, they are stealing money using projects which Zambians are not even able to value. You know what I mean? So they blind us by saying we are building road infrastructure, by building substandard roads. So most of these roads, they have already started fading out. Those are cosmetic projects. And who can use a road without food? So it's like PF, they don't have a plan to prioritize the projects. Road infrastructure is good, but they should also think of other sectors of the economy.
E.g.
employment. They should create employment for the youths. Yes.
Mr. Banda, I'm wondering when you talk of the PF creating jobs, because according to what we've heard, though the statistics do vary from each and every senior member of the PF, but at least what we've heard is that they've created over 6,000 jobs.
Yeah, that is their way of maybe compiling statistics, but practically speaking, that's not true. Because the only way you can confirm that PF will create the jobs is to go to ZRI. Let ZRI give us statistics. How many people are contributing, pay as you earn. You know what I mean? That is the only proof we can have that PF will create so much jobs. But as things stand, the only jobs people are boasting about is the digging drainages, sweeping the roads in the streets. I don't think if that is a decent job they promise the Zambian people. Those are piece works. They are temporal jobs they've created, but they can't alleviate high poverty levels among us, the youths. Yes.
So in short, to you, you're looking at pensionable jobs.
Of course, a decent job. If somebody gives me a piece work to clean along Bama Road in the street, is that a job? That's not job. That's a piece work. Is it going to sustain me? The man I'll get out of that, can I be able to go to school and further my studies? The answer is no. So literally, these people, the PF government, they've failed to areas where jobs are concerned. Yes.
All right. If you're just joining us, you're watching the live broadcast of the Oxygen of Democracy. Today, the 8th in the month of, is it September?
Yeah, this is September. Yeah.
All right. 2014. And today we are looking at a physical confrontation between the UPND and the PF. What has gone wrong? Though other matters are rising on the program. And of course, today my guest is Mr. Anderson Banda, the UPND Lusaka District Vice Youth Chairman. And of course, I also have to make mention that we invited colleagues from the PF. Of course, youths also, because we realize that youths are the major culprits when it comes to political violence. That's why we targeted to bring youths within the setting to see what has gone wrong in terms of physical confrontations or fights, if we may say so. Mr. Banda, I may have to bring you back to the issue of violence.
Yes.
What is the current status at Useko Market? What are you putting in place to ensure that there is harmony there? Are your cadres, are your members safe as we speak?
Right now, the situation is not all that conducive, especially for marketeers and for our members who are suspected to be supporters of UPND. Maybe to mention, in these markets, countrywide, people have realized that they should belong to UPND. And that's what has maybe angered or maybe caused these PF cadres to be jittery, because they've seen that the popularity, the presence of UPND at Useko has increased. So they just want to frustrate people who are siding with UPND policies. But otherwise, the situation is not all that conducive. Some marketeers have deserted the market. Some, they've lost capital. Some, they've gone to look for status capital. And in terms of controlling the situation, I personally took a step by reporting the suspects to the Matero police. We forwarded the names of all those guys who were involved in that fracas. So we are waiting to hear from the police command on what steps they've done and how far they've gone in pursuing these criminals. But it's disappointing because we are managed to open the docket on Saturday, and today is Monday. This ringleader yet hasn't been arrested yet. We don't know what has happened. But what I can emphasize is that we are going to wait for the police within a few days. If you see that these culprits are not being pursued or are not brought to book, we as UPND youths were going to organize ourselves and we'll conduct what I can call a citizen arrest.
Do you know where he is right
Of
now?
course, we've got information.
If you know where he is, why are you not assisting the police? Because
listen,
according to the police, we had an interview with the acting spokesperson, Madam Esther Katongo. She said, we've received the report, but we are still investigating the matter and we are still looking for the suspect.
We've got the list of names, and these suspects are well-known people. The marketeers themselves, they know where to find these people. Now what we were doing is just to follow the right process of the law to take place. Now if we see that there is delay in terms of arresting these people, they will have no option apart from maybe effecting what I can call citizen arrest. We are going to hunt for these people. We are capable of doing that. But we want to respect the police. Let the police do their job and bring these people to book. Because Zambia is a bigger country. People cannot be afraid of selling at the markets because of one individual, few disgruntled cadres. That is not fair. So we are appealing to Mao Samba, the area member of parliament, to bring down his cadres, to tame his cadres. Because you know how cadres work. They don't just do things on their own. They receive instruction. And we suspect that there's a political instruction which is normally given to them. So we are appealing to the leadership of that constituency. Say, can you tell your cadres? We only have one Zambia. Let those people sell freely. Because they are Zambians. You promise these people jobs. You promise these people better life. But you fail to do that. And now they are using initiatives by conducting businesses, enterprises at the Useko market. Now your only people now, you are destabilizing them. Is that fair? The answer is no. And I want to again appeal to these leaders of these political cadres. That these political parties, they come and go. Yeta himself, these political parties, they come and go. We had MMD is gone. We had UNIP is no more. And now we have PF, and PF is going soon. And life will continue after that. So it's just normal that people can treat one another in a fair way, because you never know who comes in power tomorrow. Of course, there's hope that UPND will come into power.
Okay, we've asked this question on so many occasions.
Yes.
Maybe it's not been you whom have asked this question. I've asked others on this program.
Yeah.
I may ask the same question to you too. Why do you accept to be used as tools of violence as youths?
In fact, that's a very good question, Mr. Karan. It's sad that these political leaders, they've taken advantage of high poverty levels amongst the youth. And I want to challenge political leaders to start first sending their children to these violence activities. You find that amongst the group of cadres who conduct violence, you will never see a nephew or a son to a political leader. Does it mean that their children, their nephews are more special than other people's children? The answer is no. So these people, they are taking advantage of high poverty levels. They know that if they say, you guys, let's go this side, we'll give you 50 pin. Because of desperation, some youths will fall and start doing things blindly. If you ask them if they are in trouble, who has brought you here? Why did you come here? They will say, oh, no, they just brought us here. They didn't even tell us what we'll be doing. So the thing is that, one, what causes that is high poverty levels. And again, lack of civic education. So I'm urging now, I'm taking this opportunity to urge all leaders in these political parties. Let's empower our youths with necessary skills. Let's not empower our youths with bangers. Let's not empower our youths with violent skills, because that will not develop this country. We'll continue lagging behind for years and years. Right now, people are celebrating Golden GB. It doesn't make sense, because it's just a political celebration, but practically people are still living in abject poverty. We need to celebrate this.
Is that a political celebration, or it's a national celebration?
It's a national celebration, but sometimes, to the other hand, it's not complete. When people are living in abject poverty, when people are struggling, you know what I mean? We should have economical freedom and political freedom. They should go side by side. So we have political freedom. Of course, we are governing ourselves as Zambian citizens. But economically, we are still depending on other well-wishers. That is not supposed to be the case, because God gave us plenty of natural resources which we can use prudently, okay, to create jobs. So to me, the celebration is okay, but to the other hand, it's not okay. Unless something is done politically, unless there's a political will to do things right.
If you're told to go and celebrate that event, let me not ask you in the capacity of the party, because at this level, your party has not made an official statement whether to take part or not. But in your own capacity, if those celebrations as they come, will you be willing to take part?
I wouldn't be willing, because I'm not independent. Right now, as I speak, my brothers are living in abject poverty in the compounds where I'm coming from. Some people, they claim that they know what is happening just through research. But if you stay in the compound, that's when you can understand what is going on in this country. You know what I mean? It's a situation where people depend on portioned stuff. No.
Okay, hold on your thought.
Yeah.
We were supposed to start getting calls later on, but our phones have been ringing.
Yes.
Our phones have been ringing for quite some time. Let's try to see, Director, if we can start having those calls at an early stage, because many other times that we start taking calls late also. If we have calls, let's start having them. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. I don't know whether you're talking to us or you're talking to somebody else. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Okay. Somebody's.
Good evening, Karani.
Good evening, Mr. Proud. It's been a while indeed.
Dr. Proud.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Councillor Banda.
I'm okay, Mr. Proud. How are you?
Mr. Banda, we need you as the councillor of UPND any by-election in Igade. Because people of Garden, they have suffered enough to find that school, that police, where we are living in Igade. Including right now, we want to clean our council, including our MP, Jini Kapata and Councillor Wale, are not being seen. Garbage collection is a challenge for people of Garden. Right now, our people, they can't manage 6,000 to sow a bin. In the of this will be 5 kwacha, a tractor. Right now, as I'm talking in Lusaka City Council, there's no tractor which are moving. Only tractor are for the whole Lusaka. Right now, that's why you have seen garbage all over because no plan. And including hospital, when your party UPND come, try to upgrade the Skazi camp. Some of the civilians can go there, the more it happened in France. Not these youths who are busy beating there, they were busy carrying a coffin of winter cabin. GBM is the one who is controlling CDF and giving Rubina. These are members of parliament for PF which are getting gratuity. How many youths are in a month? How many youths are in Kawatawa employed? So you carry a coffin for a person who was just appointed. He was justified like Emmanuel Mwamba. So we are appealing to you, PF youth. Write a letter to your new Secretary General. What do you want as a youth for a new Secretary General to bring development where Wintergamba doesn't bring it? That is to move a coffin. We need to benefit. Maybe meal will be cheaper. Maybe sugar will be cheaper. Maybe salad will be cheaper. At the end, we are going to benefit on your plan. But if you can't write a letter, we are busy demonstrating. Whether you can go to Eddie Kalungo, or you can go to GBM, or you can go to any member of parliament. Property minimum is 270,000. I end up, Mr. Banda, we are appealing to electoral commissioner. If it's those people, foreigner, the statement we have issued, we have received today, there is a foreigner in Zambia who wanted to vote. They must find another Zambia.
Thank you
As
so
a
much.
Zambian, we are patient, but we don't want to be provoking. Let ECZ managing election in Zambezi 100%.
Okay. Thank you so much,
To
Mr.
reduce the price of minimum. You want to use another method. Shame
Mr.
on
Proud.
you.
Mr. Proud, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Director, can I see some numbers scrolling on the screen, please? Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, this is Mr. Musanja.
Mr. Musanja is one of our regular callers on this program. Yes, sir.
Yes, I just want to comment on what is happening between the PF and the UPND. It's very unfortunate that in party there's too much animal farm. If you remember, the PF, they can demonstrate freely without any intimidation. We've never seen police officers beating up the PF cadres. For example, even the ministers, they insult, but nobody's following them. They have been insulting you journalists. You heard Winter this Chishimba Kamburi saying that the Post newspaper is the most stupid institute. So, which is very unfortunate. Now, we want the police to operate independent. The police, they are act as the PF cadres. So we do not want to experience such things in our country, because that thing can bring chaos. So I think this is the reason why we need the constitution which will guide this country the way it must be run. Not what is happening, this comedy under PF government which is happening. So it is very unfortunate. So I'm appealing to all Zambians that let us wake up. If we take the country for granted, peace is the most important thing. So let us respect one another and let us unite this country so that we can develop together. Thank you so much, Mr. Kala.
Thank you so much, Mr. Musanje. Thank you so much. Before we get to you and respond to this, let's try to see if we can squeeze in at least 2 more calls. We have more calls coming through.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Vash Fabrigas on the line here.
Vashi?
Vash Fabrigas on the line.
Okay, Vashi Fabrigas, Landenko, speak a little bit louder.
Yeah, Vash Fabrigas on the line here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I am a trader at the Buseko market. And this issue of Buseko market, I've been telling you, the media, I've been reporting to you, and you have not followed it up. I know Buseko market very well. I am well known at Buseko market. I know what is going on there. This issue of Ayeta Waria, there are two factions there. There is the section of Ayeta Waria, they are collecting money from the traders. And again, that is to the Mukwa side, where that violence was, where the market got gutted. And again, there is the other side, where there is Pine, there where you buy timber if you want to roof your house. Another part there is getting money from that market. So then, this Ayeta is a very, very big problem. At one time, he took some of the traders, my friends actually, and went to Matero police there. Reported them to Matero police with a fake report, because those guys who were taken there, they were denying him to get the market. So then, at Matero police, I was there myself. He sat right at the inquiry there, at the desk, and he started insulting the policemen to say, Mwana Mukula Mayanda. And he was mentioning insults. The officer in charge who were there was insulted. So, if the UPND is going to wait for the police to take charge of Ayeta Waria, the police are not going to do anything at all. Ayeta is very, very powerful than the police. So it's up to UPND to follow this issue. They should not even cheat to say they don't know where Ayeta Waria stays. Who doesn't know where Ayeta Waria stays? Me alone, I was about to be killed in Buseko market. I ran away. I'm not found there. Imaenda tabia timing. Mtemba yanga banenza kutantika hardware banapwanya. So they wanted to take my life. So I don't normally go to Buseko market. I go there with the timing. Okay? So
but Vash Fabrikas, what makes Ayeta so powerful?
What makes Ayeta so powerful? You remember when he beat people at Bikoka there? Maya was Sampa very, very quickly. He went there and he donated the money to the church because he knew to say Ayeta Waria is his bodyguard. Okay? When you see these people, they are wearing military regalias. So Ayeta is a commander in Matero constituency there. Okay? He's got power to command all the youth, all the cadres are under Ayeta. So he's more powerful. Today the cadres have become more powerful than the police. So the issue is still in the court. Ayeta, the court said no, we will call him. But while people were waiting for that, again he was on movie TV saying it is the Kansas City who sent me to go and beat people at the Bikoka church. Now, why are the police so hesitant? Why can't they arrest him? I am a trader. I've got an ID. I've got the membership card. I've got everything. I can tell you the proper story at Buseko Market. So I hate
Okay, but
the police are not
Fabregas,
going to arrest him. They're just wasting our time. It is up to UPND to do the citizen arrest. I am Vash Fabregas. They are starting a councillor from Purungu Ward in Chazanda Kapanana. Let me not talk too much. I end there. Otherwise, the police are not going to arrest Ayeta Wadi.
thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Fabregas. I think let's hold on with the cause. I think on this program, many other times I've commended Mr. Mao Sampa for the good works he's doing in material. And I'm sure we've mentioned that. And I should also mention it today that when I asked Honorable Mao Sampa in relation to Ayeta Bwalya, he said, if people know who Ayeta Bwalya is, I'm not the police, let the police go and arrest him. I think I've talked personally with Honorable Mao Sampa and he said he is not the law enforcer. So people should report to the police and not crying to Mao Sampa, because Mao Sampa is not going to do anything. So for now, let's try to remove Mao Sampa in this issue, because according to him, he's not the police. The police have to go and find the same Ayeta Bwalya. All right. Do you want to respond to some of the queries that have come through?
First of all, I want to thank Mr. Ploud from Garden for encouraging us to continue with our good work, at least giving people hope, because it's like most of the time Zambian people have lost hope, because they had the false hope in PF that when PF were voted into office, things would be better. But literally, when the disappointment started trickling after 90 days, people started losing hope. But now, what I can say that Zambian people should not lose hope. Hope is there in UPND, because these leaders in PF, they're recycled leaders. They're already tested, so they were just like camouflaging. So I want to give new hope to the people of Zambia, that let's not lose hope. All of us who are aggrieved, come to UPND. We've got answers for you. 2016 is around the corner. Mr. Ploud in Garden, I happen to stay in Garden. In Garden, for almost 15 years now, we've been having a PF member of parliament and the PF councillors. And when Madam Jim Kapata was in opposition, then MMD was in power, she used to give excuses, say, no, there's nothing I can do because MMD is not giving money because I'm in opposition. Now that the councillor is PF and herself as MP, she's PF. And the government itself is PF. What has gone wrong? Because in Garden right now, each and every week, 2 days hardly passes without seeing the dead body. People are killed like animals. And people started crying to her over police presence. Of course, the police station was demolished. But people are saying, can you organize police to start patrolling the area? People have lost properties. People have lost lives. Now, what was the use of voting for her?
But I'll tell you that the police post is being built. There's a new big police post being built.
Of course, that is after pressure, and I want to thank the Garden community, because to begin with, it's the community who started contributing money. And that money was raised. Halfway of that project was being funded by the community themselves. After pressure, after getting imbalanced.
Yeah, it's just prudent, because Mr. Banda, who demolished the first police post? It's the public themselves, isn't it?
Of course, it's a public, but there was a bit of unprofessionalism on the part of police, the way that man died. Though I don't support the idea of demolishing the public property, because the effect goes down to the community.
So
but
now,
what I'm saying
I'm saying that since they're the ones who demolished it, is it not just wise that they construct it themselves?
Of course, that police post was demolished before 2011, and Madam Jean Kapata and the councillor who was there by then was Mary Chiruru. They knew the demands of the people. People said, can you build us the police post? Of course, we've made a mistake. Now build us the police. They promise that within 90 days, Garden will have a new police post. Garden will have a clinic. Right now, our expecting mothers from Garden, they are moving longer distances from Garden to Chipata Clinic. Some of them, they give based on their way. That's what people voted for. because they were promised better health care.
You are now
what I mean?
campaigning.
I'm not campaigning.
Do you want to stand in any position in Garden?
Of course, I was a candidate in 2011, and mostly 80% of the people, they recognize me as a councillor, because what happened that starting from councillor level up to parliamentary level, mostly people of Zambia voted on what I can call mob psychology. They couldn't analyze candidates, you know what I mean. So it's my appeal now that let's change now the strategy. Let's analyze these candidates starting from councillor level up to MPs, so that we vote for the right people. I was the right man for that word myself, because I know I was going to do better than what is happening. The councillor is nowhere to be seen. People are dying. Have you ever seen a councillor standing next to a dead man? No. It's only citizens who takes the duty of the councillor. We've got a lot of challenges. There's poor water circulation in Garden. Right now, there is no clinic. And that's why me and the other concerned residents there, we've been advocating that Shimizo car park should be turned into a clinic, because all facilities are there. The building is just conducive to be a clinic. But up to now, I don't know what they're waiting for. Because most Garden residents, they don't own cars. Those people who are benefiting from that car park are people who are from other side of the what. So we've been lobbying the MP, the councillor. Can you turn this into a clinic? People are not safe. You know what I mean? All those, they've fallen into the deaf ears of the councillor and the MP. So
okay. Do you want to stand as a councillor again?
Of course, I'll stand, and I'm urging the residents in Garden to support us, because we've been to their side. You remember there was that scandal where the public plot was sold to an individual through the dubious means. You know what I mean? We stood by the side of the people. We said, no, in Garden, this is the only piece of land we have. Now, if you sell to a Somalian who wants to build a filling station, where are we going to get another piece of land where we think of building a recreation center? Because what is happening right now, that youths are tempted to hang around the taverns, to hang around the bars, because they don't have where to spend their time. Because they think going around the bars, that's the only way they can have leisure. But if you build a recreation center, those people have a place where they will spend time. No, they will interact with one another. They'll give each other ideas. But now here comes a councillor with other guys, working with other guys. They sell that plot. We said no. By then the mayor was Mr. Daniel Chisenga. We contacted. Are you aware of this plot? He said no, that plot, as far as he was concerned, it was still in the hands of the Garden community. But people started building even in the night, and the councillor defended the idea, saying no, that plot was sold 3 years ago before PF came into power. But the question was, what were they waiting for to start building? They waited after 3 years until PF came, that's when they started building even in the night. Because that was not possible. If they were truly given that plot during MMD's time, they would have started building within the same period.
All right.
So we suspected corruption, and we
best,
reported.
In the best interest of time.
Yes.
I'm sure that has been also
Yes.
adequately tackled.
Then there's the issue of this Mr. Msanje, where he's talking about the police biasness. You know what I mean?
I think you talked about that. Let's not spend much of the
No,
time.
this is also the cause of political violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
anti-partisan.
yeah, what I'm saying is, I'm sure you talked about this in our interview.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm sure let's not spend much on this. And Vash Fabregas is just echoing what you were saying in terms of what's
But
happening.
I just want to emphasize on, just to add on what Vashi Fabregas mentioned.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Vashi Fabregas, we as UPND, that's why in my preamble, I said that people had lost hope in PF, and the only thing I can do is to encourage them to come to UPND, because that's where true hope is. The issue of Ayeta is us UPND youths who've pushed for the docket to be opened against Ayeta and the colleagues. Right now, if you go at Matero Police, we've been there for almost 3-4 days ago. We've been going there on daily basis, making sure that the docket is effected. Right now, the docket is open for Ayeta and the colleagues, and we submitted the names of those people who are working under the supervision of Ayeta. Now we are trying to monitor the action from the police. If we see and prove beyond doubt that the police have failed to arrest these criminals, we as UPND, as citizens of this country, we are going to effect what I can call citizen arrest. We know where these people are found. Some of them, they've even got courage to be found at the market. Even the youth Ayeta was commanding, they pleaded with us on Saturday, say, people, you guys from UPND, help us. This thug has troubled us. Our leaders, they have failed to tame him. So we said to them, guys, don't worry. UPND is a peaceful party. We are going to help you as long as you support our idea of bringing sanity to this market, because it belongs to Zambian people. It doesn't belong to one individual.
Well, I'll tell you that hundreds of PF youths, just after the fracas,
Yes.
they marched to their constituents office within Matera constituents,
Yes.
demanding that they be addressed by the constituents chairman to ensure that Ayeta is barred from going to the markets. One of the issues they accused him of was that he takes, even if once he finds someone selling rice, he can pick a bag of rice and he goes. Every Monday there is a collection of resources which is shared amongst the constituents officials. That's why I really wanted to have PF officials on this program so that they can clarify some of those allegations, especially those from Matero constituents. I did get in touch with the constituents chairman from Matero, but he said he cannot because he's busy. I contacted the councillor who is also in charge of that area, Matero Ward 28. He accepted, but later on he said he had a funeral. Honorable Mao Sampa is busy with other equally important national duties. So, I mean, some of those issues, for now we are taking them as allegations, and I'll tell you, Mr. Banda, to follow them and see how far that issue goes. Let's take some more calls, please. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, thank you, sir. Kindly speak up.
Good evening, Kalan.
Good evening, sir. Your name, sir?
Mr. Tupane from Mazabuka.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, we are following your discussion very well. Yeah, it's a very nice discussion. We think UPND is the only opportunity for us. The only problem is that people are not too comfortable to live near someone who is very educated. They feel very uncomfortable. The president of UPND is very educated, like the economical challenges that we have in the country. I think he's the only right man. That is my comment. That man who is bringing a lot of problems, why can't the police catch him? So you see all these things happening, but tomorrow to be another party in the system. What will happen? So that's why you see this politician comes in, he says this, tomorrow these guys again are jailed because of that. Sort of like vengeance, because of there are some things which are not put straight forward. That is my contribution. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's accommodate more calls. Good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Director, let's try to find another line. Let's get another line.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening. Please, you are through. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Okay. Let's get another line, director. Hello? Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from, please?
I'm calling from Kanyama.
From Kanyama.
Yeah.
Your name, sir?
This is Baba from Kanyama.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
Baba from Kanyama.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. We are with you.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Go ahead. You can go ahead. We are with you.
I'm from, I just want to contribute on what Mr. Banda.
Yes, Mr. Banda.
I know Mr. Banda, you are UPND. And what you are doing now, you are just campaigning. And let's hope when you come in, you will not forget what your friends are doing. Because we always forget.
when you come in. A councillor, and you have got a problem with councillors who are sitting around, who are even encouraging these cadres. Encouraging these cadres that you need together, the councillors eat together with these cadres, the one who will call them thieves, they are just thieves. So all I can urge is the police to look into these cadres, because these cadres are criminals. In fact, they don't even vote. It's us who vote. And they're giving us problems.
Okay.
So I can only urge Mr. Banda.
Okay, I think the first part very loud and clear. Thank you so much. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. Your name? Wow. If I repeat that, if you are unable to hear us, just go ahead with your contribution. We are able to get you. If you can't hear us, go ahead. We are hearing you. If I give you a sign, go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Your name?
How are you?
I'm all right. And how are you?
I'm all right. My name is Kangila.
Yes, Mr. Kangilwa.
Sigangila.
Oh, Zikangilwa.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you, Mr. Banda?
I'm okay. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm calling you from Kamara South.
Yes, sir.
I was following this discussion. It's a very, very, very good discussion. The only problem in this country, like the gentleman you mentioned this before, to empower youth, that is where the point is. They cannot empower youth with banga. These PF people, they are in record. If you remember, if you recall very well in Chawama what happened, it was a lot of fracas there, and people, they know very well that these PF people, they cannot do any good things in this country. And you PND people, you just unite. When you unite, the way you are talking about that gentleman, Aeta, that you are talking about, it's everywhere. These cadres for PF should be guided by the IG of the police. And I can urge you, my brother, Mr. Banda there, that issue, the police from Mateo, they won't arrest that gentleman. Go direct to the IG. The IG is a very good person who can listen to your complaints. And if the IG himself can't take up that matter, please see the Deputy IG, Mr. Jarrett. Those people, those two people, I know them very well. They can help. These political issues, they can put aside. I know they were appointed by the president of PF, but they can help because they are working for the Zambian people. Please, on that area, don't waste your time to take up your matter in your hand. Go and do a citizen arrest. It cannot help. Use those people, the answer will be found. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution. Indeed, we value it more sincerely. I think let's hold on with the cause a bit and respond to some of these. I was going to ask you to go for whichever you feel like comfortable with, but let me start with is it Mr. Dante from Kanyama? Who was saying that you're just campaigning also on this program. Because even when you come into office yourselves as a party, as an individual, you still do the same issues like what your colleagues within the PF are doing.
To us, we are not excited by anything. I believe our campaigns are issue-based. If you pay attention to the campaigns, for UPND, they are always issue-based. And if we were wise enough in 2011, we could see that the campaigns for PF were based on lies and excitement. And that's why in my preamble I said mostly especially amongst the youths, we people gave the PF their votes based on mob psychology, because one, they couldn't sit down and analyze who they were voting for. So in UPND, quite alright, of course, as a competitor, you should also sell your plans and your manifesto, what you are capable of doing to the Zambian people. So what I'm saying, that I'm just trying to express our views as UPND, our views as Mr. Banda, as a chairman, because mostly the ones who are affected in these violent activities, mostly they affect the youths and the women. So that's why I'm saying in UPND we believe in a civilized type of politics. If it's to differ, we believe that we should differ on principle. We shouldn't differ and harm your friend. No, that is primitive way of doing politics. So that's why even our leaders, Mr. HH, if you've heard him campaigning, is issue-based. His campaigns are issue-based. That's why he has managed to attract a huge popularity within the special period of time. The popularity for UPND and Mr. HH, our president, is growing like bushfire. So yes, I'm campaigning, but our campaigns are issue-based, and we will not disappoint the Zambian people. I urge the Zambian people to trust us, to give us vote, to try us also, because our leaders are fresh from schools and they are well trained.
That takes me to the other issue from our father, our uncle, our brother from Mazabuka, who was like, people are scared to mingle with educated people. Do you believe so?
I don't believe if that is true. Our president is a very free man. He can meet anyone. He respects everyone. If you in my lifetime, Mr. President, our President HH is one of a person who is very flexible to everyone. He's a person who is very much understanding. You know what I mean? So those people who are maybe who are afraid of meeting him, just feel free, meet him, call him. He's a very free person. He's a humble leader with a humble background. We've got a lot of things we can learn from him. What he's achieved as in his personal capacity, and the way he conducts himself as the president of our political party, UPND. You know, he's a person you can chat with. You know, he's a person who is not scaring. So just feel free to interact with him. Support him, you prove what I'm saying. He's a good person.
All right. Yes. Finally, Mr. Singalwa from Kamala South says he has given you an advice. You go and see the Inspector General of Police. You go and see the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Solomon Jerry and Madam Stella Livongani, and report your issue of Ayeta.
Yes. Instead
of you enforcing a citizen's arrest, because you might just cause other, put yourself into trouble.
Mr. Karan, citizen arrest is our last resort. These scandals, this Ayeta and the other guys they've been committing several criminalities, and the IG is aware, the deputy IG is aware. It's not his first time to do violent things like this. It's on record that Ayeta went to Bikoka and disturbed the church procession. People were assaulted there. The police have got records. Proof were taken to the police. Even the IG herself, she's very much aware. Now that they're not acting, what do you want us to do? The IG, the deputy IG, the police at Matero, they know. He even goes there, intimidating police. He even injure people in the presence of police. Do you tell me that those police have no authority to report him to the higher rankings? They know how they operate. Me as a layman, I know that any criminality, the police high ranking should be aware of what is happening. The footages are all over the television stations. They know that there's a people have complained on different forums, on radio stations, on a private TV like this one. The IG is aware. So what are they waiting for to arrest Ayeta? How special is he? How powerful is he? Who is protecting him? That's a question. Who is funding him? Ayeta is driving a NOAA written PF. How do you empower a criminal with a vehicle? What that vehicle for what? That NOAA for what? So it means that person has good blessings from party high rankings. That's why it's even difficult for police to act, because that's why we are calling for the release of new constitution. We want the police to be independent. We want ECZ to be independent. We want the judiciary to be, so that they can do their work professionally. There's too much in political interference in the operation of the police. To me, that's where the problem is. These people, they are trained, they are good people. It depends them also, but there's nothing they can do. If they act against the instruction, we find that they are transferred, they are demoted, they are retired. All sorts of vices.
Anyway,
So it's difficult.
Who would want to be demoted? Who want to be promoted?
Of course, that's why we are calling for the release of new so that some of these departments they should operate independently.
All right.
Yes.
Let's try to accommodate more callers, unless there's something burning in your heart. But I'm sure you've tackled all of them, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's accommodate some more calls.
Okay.
All right. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Your name?
Good evening, Karan. This is Sergeant Kalia.
Yes, Sergeant.
Hello.
Yes, Sergeant. You can go ahead. We are able to get you.
This is Sergeant Kalia calling you from Mississippi.
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
This issue of jobs being offered by TF, I think there are no jobs which are being created by TF. The only thing which is being created are districts, and they create jobs for old recycled politicians. So we want to bring at least a young freshman who is very vibrant, that he can bring these units to us youth. We are tired of these old people. 2016 we are going to kick them out and vote for HH and no one else. I think that is my comment.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Kalila. All right, let's accommodate more callers. Good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Your name?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Chomba from Kamala South.
Mrs.
Chomba.
Yes, Mrs. Chomba.
But PF we are working. Someone knows the to come from Amaro Johnson Moyari. I hope ni campaign to Pange, but he campaign with Pange. You have fancy it's not premier news. I think all over the country. Do you know that? Every day I'm calling on some people, I'm calling up my phone calls via UPNG. I want to have a motor stop because banani abo bose mona bamoke calling on my phone calls via UPNG. Because no about fun that but just remember UPNG in 2021. Just work hard. We are still very far away from PF. Let PF work. The PF very bomba. Now now akula ma schools, now akula ma clinics, ama road. Tamle mtu chesong na mchalo imo. We are still behind. If you like, you are German from Liverpool. What do I get from mchalo so? Ama road tamwali. Ngosa spare parts this month. Next month you take spare parts. This time we got to rely everywhere you go. You find new roads. So more the UPN thing, I'm left and go to my campaign, some premium TV. You're just wasting your time. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Chomba. Thank you so much. Let's accommodate some more calls. Hello? We lost you. Try again. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your name, sir?
This is Mr. Nkandu.
Yes, Mr. Nkandu.
And I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Yes, sir.
I just want first to have a correction to my colleague, Mr. Banda, who said that during campaign, the bag of mini was at 35 kwacha. That is a lie. The bag of mini was at 55 kwacha during campaign. Now, I come again to the cry for that is trying to say, no, the PF is giving funds, and they are forming clubs, and they are even dishing out money. Now, my concern is, those things are given to Zambians. Are you telling us that those people receiving those goods you've mentioned have become blind so that they can't see the PF symbol on the ballot papers during the voting day, so that they can allow others to come and vote for them. Definitely these people, even if they receive, they have got their own mind to think, to say that I cannot vote for this one. So that point is just something that we cannot even comment on. Then again, you talked of cadres receiving instructions so that they can misbehave. Are you telling me to say that what happened in Mfumbwe, UPND also instructed the cadres to beat and kill others? Comment I want to hear from you. Then, as the UPND, could you tell us what we have done so that people can trust to say that really if we give you power in 2010, in 2030, are you going to do something that can even benefit others as compared to what PF has done so far? Because if you go to Chinika area there, the industries, have you tried to see the roads? Because that area where there is a Chinika breweries, it was just full of snakes. But today, you can be proud because of the roads that are there. My dear, I'm trying to advise, yes, you are a very, very good speaker, but the only thing that you are missing is to balance that. Issues that you are going to constituency.
Okay. All right. My director is telling me that we are remaining with 10 minutes so that we disappear from the set. But let's pick one last call, then we'll close the chapter and you respond to these. I know there are so many issues, especially the last two calls. You spend a lot of time on these two. Let's get the last caller in this set and then forget. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir. Your name?
My name is Mashunya Franco from Gandhi now.
Yes, Mr. Franco.
Yeah, the thing I want to tell Mr. Banda is that these cheap campaigns is doing on Prime TV, they are so cheap. Let Mr. Banda try to see what the Zambian, the TF government has done to the people of Zambia. Then from there, I think my colleague has explained very well concerning the UPND, what they did in Mfumbwe. Then this time, let them tell us what they are going to do in 2045. Because PF, it is not the party which will come so cheaply in power, like he's claiming to say they will be in power by 2016. So Mr. Banda should even stop campaigning on media. Instead, let him reorganize him and the other colleagues in the party. Because, for instance, HH was not even, he has never even come from his background, he has never been in politics. So it is not even enough for someone to come from nowhere to come and become a president without it. First of all, someone, if you want to become to go to Yunza, first thing you need to go to primary, secondary, then he goes to Yunza. But how come he need to become a student when he has never been in grade 1 before? So these are cheap politics Mr. Banda and his UPND, they are trying to bring to the people of Zambia. Mr. Sada and PF, what they have done, it is a massive development to all districts, the district which he has created, and so many things which people can able to see with their eyes, not spiritual eyes, but physical eyes.
Okay, Mr. Franco, before you go, one correction maybe. If you say he should stop campaigning on Prime Television, I'll tell you that as Prime TV, we don't sideline anyone. Even you can come and we are going to host you. So this is a platform for anyone, regardless of your political affiliation.
Oh, it's all right.
Prime TV is not for UPND, for PF, for NAREP, for whoever. Prime Television is for the entire country, wherever you come from, your entire background. So even when you came today, we shall still host you. That's why we extended an invitation to UPND and PF.
I think I will need the same banda so that when I come there, I will need to challenge him. I'm the constituent youth secretary for Kanyama constituency.
No problem.
I'll be the constituency youth chairman soon.
You
But
can come to
need
Prime
come and
Television.
challenge that banda so that I tell him the facts than telling lies to the nation. Thank you. I rest my case.
Please come to Prime TV, give us your contact, and we shall still host you even next week if you so wish. I've already extended an invitation to you. Bring your number, I will get in touch with you. Then you can also come and appear on the set and highlight some of the achievements that your party, the PF, has scored. I think we are running out of time, but quickly, very quickly, let's start with Mrs. Chomba. PF is working, roads are everywhere. So what are you talking about? Very quickly, so that we talk all this.
These roads, I'm sure people have talked about them. These roads are not PF's project. They are just like implementing what other people planned. Moreover, the money they are using is taxpayers' money, it's our money. So no one can be proud of that. And people cannot eat roads. There are so many things which are supposed to be in place for people to enjoy the benefit of having good roads. Okay.
All right. Mr. Nkandu also came through and said, point of correction, Milimi was not at 35. It was at 55 kwacha. And of course, even if voters are given cell phones, they've got eyes. Should they be forced to go and vote for the PF, even if they are given a Motorola phone? Sorry for campaigning for Motorola or whatsoever about that. Sorry about that. But
Mr. Karan, I've understood your question. To begin with, people should understand the term corruption and electoral code of conduct. When there's an election in the constituency or a ward, the electoral code of conduct states that no one should be seen distributing money, funds, or anything, any donation to entice voters. That's what we can call enticing. That's corruption. And reasons why some of these seats were notified is because people were giving gifts during election time. So what has changed now that there's election, people in power are distributing those things? Are they above the law? The answer is no. That's what we are saying. That is enticing. Taking advantage of people's challenges, poverty levels. Somebody's given 50p. You know that if I give this person 50p, definitely she will vote for me or he will vote for me. That is corruption and it's against the electoral code of conduct. That's what we're explaining.
Did UPND instruct cadres in Mufumbo to kill people?
No. UPND, as I alluded earlier on, we are a peaceful party. You know what I mean? These people, they are just trying to level this allegation to us because they have no message to the people of Zambia. All what they want to do is UPND is tribal. Me, I'm banned, I'm from Eastern Province. Am I Tonga? I'm not. UPND is the national party. Everyone else is very much free. We've got more than 14 million seats in UPND, which can accommodate each and every individual Zambians to fit in the party. So I'm welcoming each and every Zambian to come on board and develop this mother Zambia.
All right, Mr. Franco, you're just doing cheap politics on Prime TV.
No, I'm not doing cheap politics because I'm sure what I'm explaining makes sense and approvable. If I say Ayeta is becoming big-headed, is killing people, is displacing marketeers, is that not true? Is that okay? Is that fair? For one individual to destabilize the peace of many material residents, is that fair? Those are provable examples. If he wants, let him go to Useko and hear what people are saying about Ayeta. Even his fellow followers, your PF cadres, they are complaining and they are appealing to me and my colleagues, help us. This guy has troubled us. It's like no one is touching him. He's untouchable. So his fellow followers, PF cadres, complaining, rising against him. Some even went to police Matero, reporting their fellow colleague. That's an extent how the matter has reached.
All right.
It's not us.
We have to go, Mr. Banda.
Yes.
But Mrs. Chomba from Kamwala South, I should think so, said you should work hard for 2021. Mr. Nkandu came through 2030. And then finally, Mr. Franco said you should also keep on working hard for you to be in power in 2045.
Okay.
Your concluding remarks, sir.
No, let me just answer these years they're mentioning. You know, sometimes it's just it's just fair that if you are a beneficiary of BF government, please don't fool people who are suffering. If you are a beneficiary somehow, maybe your brother or yourself, as he mentioned, he said, I'm a constituency, what? It means he is together with these people. So he's got all the rights to support the ideas. But remember that his views are not the views of the majority Zambians. That's why it's democracy. you go for an election, the majority wins. What we are saying that UPND, the prepared for UPND is growing like bushfire. So we count the numbers for those who want to vote. Of course, we wish them the best they can, but according to what is on the ground, PF have literally failed. And UPND, come what may, we are forming government in 2016. Whether somebody likes it or not, Zambian people will decide. It's not one individual to decide the fate of this country. It's the conclusive votes which people give to the party. That's what I'm saying. My concluding remarks is that I want to appeal to constituencies where there will be by-election this Thursday. Please, people of Zambezi West, people of Vubwi constituency, people of Kasenengwa, people of Solwezi Central, people of Mkushi South, and people of Katua. There's a local government by-election taking place. Let's give UPND a vote, because that's where the future of this country lies. These people, they've tried their best. They started leading this country way back in 1964. Now they are failing worse than ever before. So the only hope is in UPND. Let's give President HH support. He's a good man. He will change things for this Zambia. Then I want also to urge the leadership for PF. We only have one Zambia. You know, sometimes we can belong to UPND, you can belong to PF, you can belong to MMD. But if you dig the roots, find that we are related, we are brothers and sisters. It's very much unfair that you can get a panga and hack your friend in full view of the wife and the children. Imagine the pain the wife went through. Imagine the pain those children went through, seeing their father being killed on cold blood. Is that fair? Time will judge you guys harshly. Let's practice politics in a very civilized way.
We have to go.
Thank you very much. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the management at this Prime TV. You are doing your part. You are helping us. Continue with the same spirit.
We are going to help anyone.
Yes. Continue even inviting
from all
everyone.
sectors.
Yes.
All right, Mr.
Yes.
Banda, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kara.
Thank you very much.
It's been my pleasure.
All right.
Thank
we
you.
are looking at a physical confrontation between the UPND and the PF. What has gone wrong? And my guest on the program was Mr. Anderson Banda, the UPND Lusaka District Vice Youth Chairperson. I must also remind you that we had extended an invitation to our colleagues within the PF, but due to circumstances beyond their control, they could not make it, because we feel that this issue could have been handled very well if we could have gotten both sides of the coin. But however, they could not make it due to circumstances beyond their control. Thank you so much to all of you that had found time to join us on today's edition of the Oxygen of Democracy. My name is Kalan Mshima on behalf of the entire studio and technical crew. Make sure you make a date with us again next week for yet another exciting discussion. For now, it's good night and God bless.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.